Glendale firefighters not only rely on their training and their expertise, but they also rely on their equipment. Equipment such as what they wear to keep them safe during a hazardous material situation or a fire. In this next story, Stacy Lloyd shows us a key piece of that equipment and how a local restaurant is helping to make sure the equipment is always in working order.
Firefighter Jocelyn Breyer demonstrates how this piece of her equipment works. This is her SCBA.
SCBA is a self-contained breathing apparatus that firefighters use as a tool to keep themselves safe when they're inside an environment that would be hazardous to their health.
The SCBA allows us to enter a house or conditions where there's superheated air or fire. It allows us to go a little bit further than we would if we did not have our SCBA.
The SCBA consists of a face mask, pressure regulator, and a high-pressure tank filled with compressed air.
Before there were SCBAs, that was the leading #1 cause of firefighter death, was smoke inhalation.
SCBAs are so effective, firefighters across the country wear them.
Almost like a backpack that we put on.
This is all sealed to my face. This covers everything so no bad air gets inside.
Once they've donned the gear, they'll reach around and they'll open up the valve that's on the air cylinder, and that releases that compressed air into the air lines of the apparatus itself. They exhale, they inhale. The mask allows them just to have normal pressures in it. They can just breathe in a controlled manner.
The SCBA weighs about 20 pounds. Altogether, the gear weighs about 75 pounds.
The SCBAs come with a safety device built in called PASS, a Personal Alert Safety System. It automatically activates and sets off a high-pitched alarm if a firefighter isn't moving.
It will go off if we don't move within 30 seconds, and it alerts other firefighters of where we're at in a building.
It's critical for firefighters that this equipment is regularly tested. The national standard is to test these devices once a year. However, Glendale Fire tests them every 6 months.
There's literally zero tolerance for failure of this equipment. If they're exposed to those environments, the likelihood of them being killed or injured severely is very, very great.
So here's where a local restaurant enters the story. The old SCBA testing equipment had become obsolete, and due to budget constraints, Glendale Fire didn't have the money to replace it. Luckily, the department received a public safety grant from Firehouse subs. This money allowed Glendale Fire to buy a new testing machine and laptop with the necessary software. The timing couldn't have been better.
We had literally no money to do this. I'm not sure where we would have come up with the funds to convert that old out-of-date machine into up to the new standards that it needs to be to work properly.
Now, when Glendale firefighters strap on their SCBAs and enter a burning building, they're grateful to Firehouse subs.
Every time they put that on, that air is literally coming from Firehouse subs. You could think of it that way. So absolutely, go up there and buy a sub and say thank you to the folks working up there, because without them we wouldn't be able to do it. So it's absolutely, we're very grateful.
If you've ever burned yourself with hot liquid, hot food, or steam, you know how bad that hurts. Well, the Glendale Fire Department says the majority of scalding injuries are preventable. So they have advice for parents to keep their kids safe from getting burned. One way, create a no-kid zone in the kitchen.
What I've done, and anybody can do this in their home, is I've taken tape and created a zone that no kids would be allowed in if I was cooking. You know, obviously we got boiling water here. I wouldn't want any kids in this vicinity. And so you can teach your kids, hey, this is mommy and daddy's area. You need to stay outside of it.
Another way is to make sure your water heater is set at 120 degrees or below. Cold cases are frustrating for police. Those are unsolved cases. In this next story, Stacy Lloyd gives us an update on a cold case from about 8 years ago. A teenager was killed in a park, and police in Glendale still need your help.
We were just so close. We were like literally like peanut butter and jelly like all the time, and it just hurts not to have him here and be able to share everything that we have now in life with him.
I miss my big brother. I miss my big brother.
The death of their 19-year-old brother, Esteban Canales, still weighs heavy on his sisters, and the pain is often unbearable for his mother.
Since we found out about the news, she's been totally heartbroken, and ever since that day, she feels like a piece of her has been taken away.
Here's what the police know. Esteban, a Peoria resident, was found dead in this Glendale park back in 2004 on August 31st. They believe he was killed sometime between 1 and 4 a.m.
Esteban was at his home in Peoria, and at some point in the evening of the 30th, he left his home. Whether to go to a party or to go meet somebody, it's really unclear.
3 things disturb Glendale police about this case. 1, the young age of the victim. 2, the motive remains a mystery. And 3, Esteban was killed in a public park and the body was left there for anyone to see.
We believe that somebody would have seen what happened or seen something because of the apartment complexes in the neighborhood, the walkers that walk through the park.
The Canales family is large and close. They come together often to remember Esteban.
We have a big family. He was the 10th of our 12 people among his family. He was like the glue to our family.
He was very energetic. He was very loving, very caring. Everybody always wanted to be around him. He had a very positive outlook on life.
Police investigators see firsthand the family's pain.
They just want closure. They know people out there know. They want people to call in and give us that information, and they're hurting very bad.
Police say the fact that 8 years has passed may be what helps solve the case.
People who knew something back then, their relationships have changed. And now they may be able to come forward, not be afraid.
There are several ways the public can help solve this crime. One is by visiting Glendale Police's cold case website. There they can click right onto Esteban's case and submit any information they may know about it and send it straight to police. And they can even remain anonymous.
Any little bit of information that would help this case, anything, if you know any shred of information, it would be important to call and give us that information, because even though you think that something isn't important, it can turn out to be the case breaker.
That little bit of information could also provide justice for the Canales family.
It will help so much. It will help all of us have closure, be able to trust people, not be like so negative about the world.
So we can have closure, so we can know who did it, so we can have that little peace of mind to know that, you know what, at least that bad person is put away.
You can find the Glendale Police Department cold case website at glendaleaz.com or call 623-930-3325 or Silent Witness at 1-800-343-TIPS. Well, folks, that is it for this edition of Glendale 911. For more information on the Glendale Police Department or the Fire Department, check out the city website, glendaleaz.com. For Glendale 11, your city connection, I'm Julie Waters. And don't forget, be safe, wear your seatbelt.